Okay, and here's that assembly. Let's get on with that. Now I am kind of running out of memory, so we might see how far this thing goes. Righto, so ARP head studs. These are the 2000 head studs. You do get the 625. Main thing is with these ones, you have a lot of tensile strength in there. With the 625, you have, they're mainly for compact applications. So if you have you're tight on space, you don't have as many big places, maybe you're going really big overboard and you really need to get on a tight space, that's your 625. It'll give you the same strength as the 2000. However, if you have the ARP 625 head stud, I think it's 625 head studs of the same diameter and the same length, they are superior. They can help more down, but for most applications 2000 studs can work just fine because you want to get the head to clamp down. These ones don't stretch as much as factory bolts, so they're going to stay a lot in place. More positions stay in place better. And also with these ones, important, you do want to use gloves. You don't want to get your hand oils and things on these. It does affect the quality. So how do you install these? We would basically have our studs. I'll do them one by one. We have a nice little documentation here with the ARP saying what car it's for, and mainly here we got our sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically cross pattern. You can also torque something in a sequence, but I prefer to follow the RFM relating to what these are. And obviously you'd have your torque assembly, you can 90 foot-pounds is going to be your torque spec for this one. So let's put that away, we'll look at it later. How you actually install them, you would have your little stud. Normally you'd first want to chase the threads down, make sure it's clear. They do say they want you to install these hand tight. Now today's a bit of a cold day, so our tolerances are a bit tight, but you basically run them in all the way. Actually, you know what? I skipped a step. I need to put on the lubricant first. So we will take this out again. This is why hand tightening is not really always possible, because your hands are always slippery. And then yeah, so you can with this step use Loctite to put it in, but in my condition the previous guy put the Loctite on the wrong end and it completely made my life a living hell. So just take this one there on the bottom end, just a tiny little dab to make sure that gets in there, and that'll make sure you get the correct torque. Now this is not necessary, but if you want to put Loctite on there, you can do that as well. Keeping in mind you don't want to have too many things floating around on the inside of your engine. And it's still a little bit tight, but that just means I'm going to get this down to the correct thread. It's a lot easier to put it in now. Obviously you could just use Allen key at the top to do that. That basically goes just as well as you would think. And you basically just turn it in until it bottoms out. It is easier now. So there she stops now. So I'm not gonna go and turn this in as fast as I can, because your tightening force is going to be from the cap coming at the top. So we're not going to be worried about that. We're just going to be putting it there. So also with expansions and everything, it makes it harder to get things off, which was a big problem with the head. I just wonder if I actually have the old one here, so I can show you guys how it wasn't that one. On my desk. Let me see if I can show you guys what happens when you put Loctite on the wrong side of the bolt. Okay, and we're back. So this stud has now been damaged up because the Loctite just locked it in place, and I just could not get this thing out, which I had to order a whole entire new set. Also see that these are kind of like a little bit old and worn, so Loctite goes on the bottom end, not on the top end. You, granted, you know, if you want to do that and you think it's really needed, I think go for it, you know, if that's what you want to do. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put my things in like this, and then we'll put the cap on top. I'm just basically going to repeat that process for all of the stuff, because then obviously you'd have your nuts here, they go on there, and you'd position them in where you would want them. Yeah, so that's basically the long and short of it. Let me just put the other ones in, and then we'll look at it again. So you'd have your stud, turn it in, and you're good to go. Okay, so we got them in. We're going to turn them in now. So again, you want to make sure they go in by hand relatively easy. You don't want to force these ones in, making sure they all kind of like at least get the thing. You don't want to have too much spillage on there, so if you do see a little bit of spillage on there, spillage, it's just lubricant that goes on there. I'll just grab the rag, just wipe that off. Don't have too much stuff flying around there because that will affect your head gasket sealing. I'm not going to put the lubricant on the top studs yet because we still got to rebuild the head. Well, lap the valves, not really rebuilding a head, but lapping the valves and that. And then we will put these on there. So you'd have your order of assembly, you'd have your washers, they would go on there, and then you'd have your stud go on there, and we'd torque them to 19 Newton meters. Yeah, so relatively simple installation, but that is part of the preparation. This also makes it easier to get your head gasket in and everything. So yeah, I just want to make sure they all go in nice and smoothly. This one's going rather nicely. And then we get them all set to their position. Again, kind of hard to do when you have gloves on. But yeah, you want to get it hand tight to the bottom and put on your caps and things. Anyway guys, that's it for head stud installation. I hope this helps, and then next we'll probably get on the cylinder head rebuild.